Hey guys, I'm Connor, your personal YouTube English teacher, and this is episode 3 of Learn English Through News, the end of a rock band. Today, we are going to take a look at this breaking news story about a musician who made a big mistake while performing. If you're ready to get started, click like on this video. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you never miss another video. And let's dive in with a quick read of the story. Famous actor and musician Jack Black has paused his rock band Tenacious D's world tour after his bandmate Kyle Gass made a controversial comment about former President Trump. During a show in Sydney, Black asked Gass to make a birthday wish, and Gass replied, "Don't miss Trump next time," referring to an attempted assassination of Trump the day before. Black, shocked by the remark, denounced it as hate speech and political violence. Gass apologized for his reckless, dangerous comment and stressed his opposition to violence. Jack had this to say on Instagram. "I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I am grateful to the fans for their support and understanding." The future of Tenacious D is now uncertain. Fans and critics wonder if Black and Gass will reconcile and bring back their unique mix of rock and comedy, or if this incident will end their partnership. Now, if that news story felt a little bit difficult, a little bit challenging, if there were parts of the story that you didn't quite understand, don't worry, because next we are going to jump in to a vocabulary breakdown, taking a look at the more advanced language in the story and making sure that we understand everything. But before we do that, a quick shout out to my channel and Patreon members. If you are in this list, then you have clicked join next to the subscribe button here on YouTube, or you have followed me on patreon.com/EnglishWithConnor. These members get PDFs for all of my lessons, plus bonus content, including extra videos. So a huge thank you to these guys. And if you're not a member, I highly recommend you join today. It's only the price of a cup of coffee. All right, let's get back to the video. The first vocabulary word I'd like to talk about today is denounced. Denounced. So it means publicly declared something to be wrong or evil, strongly criticized or spoke out against. So in the news article, this was the context of denounced. We saw Black, as in Jack Black, the comedian, actor, and musician. He was shocked by the remark. He denounced it as hate speech and political violence. Okay, so Jack Black, he was shocked. I'll draw a shocked face right here, right? Here's a shocked face. Really surprised, and usually in a bad way. If you're shocked, it is not a good surprise. So Black was shocked by the remark or the thing that his bandmate said. If you make a remark, then you say something, right? So Jack Black was shocked by this. He was shocked by what his bandmate said. And then following that, or afterwards, he denounced it, okay? He denounced what his bandmate had said as hate speech and political violence. So if you denounce something as something else, then you are saying, I do not approve of this. I do not agree with this because, okay, the as sort of serves as a bridge between these things. You denounce something as and then give a reason why it's bad, okay? So Jack Black denounced what his bandmate said as hate speech and political violence, okay? Violent actions or violent speech related to politics. You guys know that I am a visual learner and I love to draw pictures to help me remember things. How do we draw a picture to help us remember this word denounced? What kind of image can we create to cement it in our memories, okay? If you're a member and following along at home with your PDF, which is available to all members, you can draw whatever you want. You can draw what I'm going to draw or something different, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a cute cat over here, and this cat is just minding his own business, not hurting anybody, but someone comes along and kicks the cat. They kick the cat with their foot. What a horrible thing to do. So somebody sees that happen and they denounce it, okay? They denounce it as violence. They say, what you are doing is wrong, and I'm publicly letting everybody know. They are declaring, they are letting everybody know that this is wrong. This is evil. They are strongly criticizing. They are speaking out against this act or action. Up next, we have reckless. Reckless, okay? What is reckless? Without thinking or caring about the consequences. In other words, acting without caution or consideration. Okay, so if you are being reckless, then you're not thinking about the bad things that could happen as a result of what you are doing. You are not considering the consequences. You're not being cautious. You're not being careful. So yeah, another way to think about this could be not careful, or you're not being careful. The opposite of being careful is being reckless. In the article we saw, Gass apologized. He said sorry. So remember, this is Jack Black's bandmate, okay? There's two of them in the band. There's Jack Black and there's Kyle Gass. And Gass apologized for his reckless, dangerous comment, or, the thing he said. The thing he said. He stressed his opposition to violence. Interesting, okay? This word here, stressed. Let's talk about this. If you stress something, then you emphasize it. You place importance on it, okay? So he wants to stress that he is opposed to violence. He is emphasizing. In other words, he is making it very clear that he is opposed to violence, or he does not agree with something. He does not agree with violence. Yeah, if you are opposed to something, then you disagree with it. You do not support it. Okay, as a picture here, I'm going to draw a little kid recklessly running through a store. We can see he's running really quickly. His eyes are actually closed, right? His eyes are closed, and all around him, there are shelves. Shelves full of expensive items, okay? Here's a vase, and this vase costs $1,000, right? Here's a picture, and this picture costs $2,000. This stuff is really expensive, and he's running around in this store being very reckless. Now, why is it being reckless? Well, he's not thinking about the consequences of his actions. In other words, he's not considering the bad things that could happen if he keeps on running around like crazy, right? He could bump into the shelf and he could knock stuff onto the floor, breaking it and causing lots of expensive damage. Here's another terrific word that we saw in the article, a verb, right? So something you do. Blindside. If you blindside somebody, then you shock or surprise them in a negative way. So, maybe somebody does something and you didn't see it coming, you didn't expect it, you weren't expecting it, and you don't really like what they did, right? So you can say that you were blindsided by them. In other words, they blindsided you. In the article, we saw that Jack Black, he was blindsided by who? By his bandmate Kyle's remark. Okay, so basically, he was blindsided by this thing that Kyle said. He did not expect Kyle to say it. He was totally shocked, and he was surprised in a negative way. If he had known that Kyle was going to say this on stage in front of so many people, then he would have told him not to, right? He was taken aback. That's maybe a more formal way we can think about this. Taken aback. If you're taken aback by something, then you're shocked and surprised in a negative way, and you think, oh my gosh, how could you do that? I didn't expect you to do that, and I really don't like what you've done. You've blindsided me. I am taken aback by what you did, okay? So I think as an image for blindside, what I'm going to draw is just the imagery from the article we read. I'm going to draw a picture of Kyle. Here's his bald head. You can see a shiny spot on his bald head, right? And Kyle is not really thinking about what he's doing. It's his birthday and he's blowing out candles. He's blowing out candles. They say, Kyle, make a wish. Kyle, make a wish for your birthday, okay? And here's Jack Black, and he's giving the cake to Kyle. He's listening to what Kyle is going to say for his wish. What does Kyle say? Kyle says, I wish they would have killed Donald Trump. Kyle says something that really blindsides Jack Black. Jack Black is shocked. He's surprised in a really negative way. So, here's Kyle talking about how he wishes this person who tried to kill Donald Trump, he's saying, man, I wish he had been a better shot with his gun. I wish he had hit him in the head and not in the ear, thus killing him, okay? Resulting in his death. Now, Jack Black, he's listening to Kyle say this, and he cannot believe what he's hearing. Here's a very bad picture of Jack Black, right? He's just like, oh my God, how can you say that? I didn't expect you to say that, and I definitely did not expect you to say it in front of all these people. Here's the audience, right? Because remember, they're musicians and they are playing a show. I mean, Kyle makes this remark. He makes this statement. He says this thing in front of a huge audience. In other words, in front of a ton of people. And Jack, he feels blindsided by this remark. One more thing I'd like to talk about in the vocabulary breakdown today is on hold. This is an idiom or an expression, something people say. And idioms, they are usually kind of difficult to understand. So let's take a look at this. What does on hold mean? It means temporarily stopped or paused, okay? Temporarily, that just means for right now, okay? Maybe in the future it will change, but for right now, it is stopped. It is paused, okay? For right now, we are not moving forward. We are not going to continue to do whatever this thing is, okay? So put on pause or delayed for a while, okay? Delayed for a while. A while just means, an indefinite period of time, an indefinite amount of time. What is indefinite? Indefinite, that just means it has not been defined. It's uncertain. You can't really say exactly how long it will be. We just know that it's going to be a while, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, for the time being. That's a good way to think about it. For the time being, okay? That just means for right now, okay? So for right now, we're not going to do this. In the article we saw, Jack Black has put Tenacious D's world tour on hold after his bandmates' comment. Remember, we can also say remark. We can also say statement, although statement is a little bit more formal, okay? Now, a couple of things. Remember that Tenacious D, that's the name of Jack Black and Kyle's band, like a group of musicians who play together, right? So this world tour, they were on tour. They were in Sydney, Australia. They were going all over the world, but unfortunately, Jack feels he has to put this tour on hold. Why? He's putting it on hold, or he is putting a stop to the tour after his bandmates comment. We could also say because of his bandmates comment. So for the image, for the drawing, I have kind of a specific idea of something I want to draw. Once again, you guys can draw whatever you want if you're following along at home, but here's what I'm going to do. Let's pretend that somebody has an online business, okay? And their online business is making soap. Yeah, soap, like you wash your hands with soap, right? And so what they're going to do is, in their house, they're making soap, and they are shipping soap out to different customers who buy it online. So somebody goes on the internet, somebody buys the soap, and then let's call him Tim. This guy's name is Tim. Tim has all these boxes full of soap in his house that he's going to ship or send out to his customers, right? Well, Tim realizes that actually this is really expensive. He didn't realize how expensive it was going to be, how much money it was going to cost to send this soap to his customers. Here's somebody who wants the soap. Guess what? It's a really expensive thing to do. So what Tim does is he puts his business on hold. Okay, he says, sorry guys, I am not going to do any more shipping. I'm going to stop making soap. I'm going to stop shipping it out to customers for the time being, okay? It is temporarily on hold. Just means I'm going to stop doing it for right now. That is the end of the vocabulary breakdown. Hopefully some of the more challenging language in the story is a little bit more clear to you now. What we're going to do next is jump into a deep dive of this article, of this story, this news story. We're going to go line by line, sentence by sentence, making sure we understand everything. So the end of a rock band. Rock is the kind of music that this band plays, right? So this is a question. Is this the end of this rock band? Are they going to keep being a band, or are they finished? Are they done for? Okay, so famous actor and musician Jack Black has paused his rock band Tenacious D's world tour after his bandmate Kyle Gass made a controversial comment about former President Trump. That is one sentence, and that is a giant sentence, right? So let's take it bit by bit. This guy, Jack Black, maybe you've seen him in movies because he's an actor. Maybe you've listened to his music, right? He's a musician. He's very, very famous, meaning lots of people know about him, so you've probably seen him somewhere at some point. Well, guess what Jack Black did? He paused his rock band Tenacious D's world tour. They were touring the world. It's now on hold, to use a vocab word. Why did this happen? Well, his bandmate, Kyle Gass, this guy made a controversial comment, okay? Controversial means, it gets people talking. Here's a picture of lots of people talking about it. Oh my gosh, look, they're shocked. This guy's angry, and this person's sad, right? Okay, you can feel a lot of different emotions when something controversial happens. Maybe it shocks some people. It blindsides them, to use a vocab word. Maybe it angers them. It makes them upset. Or maybe it saddens them, okay? Like, a lot of people really looked up to Kyle Gass, and they feel let down by his behavior. So this controversial thing he said, what was it about? It was about former President Trump, the previous president of the United States. All right, so during a show in Sydney, show means a performance. Performance. They're playing music for, their Australian fans in Sydney, the city of Sydney. What happens during this show? Well, Jack Black, he asked Gas, kind of hard to say, right? To make a birthday wish because it was Gas's birthday on the day of the show. Gas replied, "Don't miss Trump next time." It's kind of like he's wishing that the person who tried to shoot Donald Trump had hit him instead of missing him, right? Yeah, he's referring to, we can also say talking about. What is he referring to? What is he talking about? Well, he's referencing an attempted assassination. Somebody tried to kill Trump just the day before. Well, Jack Black, he was shocked by this remark, by this thing that Gas had said. And so he denounced it as hate speech and political violence. We talked about this sentence. Jack Black basically is saying, I really do not agree with this. I don't stand with him, okay? He does not represent my views. So after this, Gas apologized. He said sorry for his comment. Now, this comment was two things. It was reckless and it was dangerous. And Kyle Gass also stressed his opposition to violence. We talked about this. Gass is emphasizing, okay, he's making sure people know that he does not condone violence, especially political violence. If you condone something, then you support it. You say, okay, that's okay to do. It's okay if you do that. I condone it. I condone you doing that. So Gass is saying, I do not want anybody to go out and be violent because of what I said. Over on his Instagram, his social media, Jack said he was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. So by what Kyle Gass had said, right? He says, I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. In any form. That just means any kind of political violence, any shape, okay? Any example of political violence, I disagree with. So he says, after much reflection. Reflection means you've been thinking deeply about a issue, okay? So he's been thinking a lot about this. He says, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue this tour, the Tenacious D tour. It's not appropriate, so it's not fitting, okay? It's not fitting. It's not a good idea, okay? He says all future creative plans are on hold. He's putting a stop to those plans for now. Creative plans probably just means making more music in the future with his bandmate, Kyle Gass, right? He's saying, I'm not sure I want to work with this guy anymore. He says, I'm grateful or thankful to the fans for their support and understanding. So he's saying, guys, I know this might be disappointing to you, but I just want to say thank you for understanding why I'm doing this and supporting me. So what does the future hold for this band, Tenacious D, this group of musicians? Well, the future is now uncertain. It's unclear. We can also say it's murky. The future is murky. We can describe water as being clear or water as being murky. Maybe if there's a lot of dirt, a lot of mud in water, and you can't see very clearly in it, then we can say, okay, that water is murky water. Well, the future of Tenacious D, maybe it used to be clear, like some clear water, but now it's murky, like murky water. It's hard to see the future of this band going anywhere, okay? So fans, people who support the music, and critics, people who criticize or say bad things about the music, they all wonder if Black and Gass will reconcile, okay? Will they make up? You have an argument, you have a disagreement, and then you make up afterwards. You say, I'm sorry, and they say, I'm sorry too, and you come back together. So whether you like them or dislike them, whether you're a fan or a critic, everyone is curious. Everyone is wondering, are they going to reconcile? And are they going to bring back this unique sound that their music has? Unique just means special, right? Really special. It's not like anything else. It's totally its own thing. Their music is a mix or a mixture, a combination of rock music and comedy, okay? So people love how unique this band is, and it's really special to a lot of people, but they're also wondering, is this incident going to end their partnership? Are they going to stop working together and being partners? All right, so finally, in the last section of today's lesson, I have a discussion question for you guys, something to help us with our speaking practice, our spoken English, and also it'll get us to think critically about this story, help us think about this story at a deeper, more meaningful level. So here's the question. Do you think Jack Black handled this situation correctly by canceling the tour? Did he make the right decision here? Okay, so I'd like you guys to push yourself and try to take a full minute in response to this. Talk out loud, or you can leave me a comment in the comments section if you'd like to practice your writing skills instead. Really try to make the full minute. So I'll go first. Yeah, in my own personal opinion, I'm not so sure that Jack Black made the right decision by distancing himself from his bandmate, Kyle Gass. Why do I say that? Well, I don't think Kyle thought very hard about this thing that he said. I don't think he really thought about what he was saying. I think he just kind of blurted it out. He just kind of said it without thinking about it. And, a lot of people are upset with Jack Black because he's been making music with Kyle for so long. A lot of people feel that he was too quick to distance himself from Kyle. He was too quick to abandon Kyle. People think that he's not showing a lot of loyalty to his bandmate and his friend. And actually, I kind of agree with them. Okay, that was my 1 minute response. Now it's your turn. Go ahead. Thank you guys so much for all of the support you have shown me in the last couple of days. We've gained thousands of subscribers. I'm so happy to have you guys here, and I'm so glad that my content is connecting and helpful to you guys, okay? So don't let your study session end here. If you haven't seen my first 2 episodes of Learn English Through News, you can check it out right there at the link on the screen. I'll meet you there.